have the
We are live. I do not have the intro loop, so we're just going to be raw dogging this
perfect.
tonight.
Even better.
Hello, Frog fans. Welcome to Postgame Beers. I am your host tonight, Ray Cartwright. I am not Kyle Malloy, nor am I Jacob Sailors, as they both had early bedtimes tonight to get ready for Frog Ball tomorrow, as we are less than 24 hours away from TCU baseball kicking off. Joining me tonight is the Sultan of Stat, Martin Guerrero, and our uninformed horse, Garrett. Boys, how are we tonight?
Just excited for tomorrow, man. I'm ready to go to bed so I can wake up and it be game day. We need to get going. Can't wait.
Speaking of getting going, tonight we are joined by a frog ball legend, Hunter Wolfe. Hunter, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. I wouldn't say I'm a legend, but I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys having me on.
Legend in our eyes.
I appreciate that for sure.
You know, Hunter. So what's going on with you these days? What you up to?
Just the working life, man. Doing big boy stuff. So,
Are you a realtor too?
no, I'm not. So,
Because it feels like every other TCU baseball alum is in real estate.
no, it's either that, real estate or insurance. So one of the two.
Yeah.
But I kind of branched off, and I'm in medical device sales. So,
Oh man, if MK was here, he's in pharmaceutical. Yeah, I'd have a lot in common. So I want to take you back, Hunter, to whenever you were first coming to TCU. Now, originally you were supposed to go to Tennessee, but decided to come to TCU, and there was some crazy shenanigans around that. Can you talk about that a little bit?
yeah, man, I can talk about this all day. But so basically, my redshirt freshman year at my junior college, I signed with Tennessee in the fall, who was coached at the time by Dave Serrano. In the spring, after the spring, Serrano gets let go. Botello comes in there, and nothing. But I just didn't want to play for a new coach, so I asked out of my letter of intent, and that got blocked. So that became kind of a big ordeal, and I just kind of decided not to go to Tennessee and go back to my junior college for my third year, play that out, and then in January, I thought that I was cleared and good to go. I had my sights actually set. I'm from Tennessee, so I'm in SEC country. So I had my sights set on wanting to go to another SEC school. But unfortunately, I got blocked from doing that. But all is good. Ended up being a blessing in disguise. TCU was actually my first visit. Came down here, fell in love with the place, and the rest is history.
What SEC school was that had your sights set on?
So my dream school was always South Carolina. So when I first really started watching college baseball, that's when they were in the World Series all the time with like Jackie Bradley and Whit Merrifield, and I thought that place was sick. So, but it couldn't have worked out better for me.
You know, I forget that you're a young man, and that's probably around 2010, 2011 or so when South Carolina's going. I'm like, man, wasn't that long ago. But to hear that, it makes me feel old.
No, it's crazy how time flies though. Like this season will be the third season out for me, which is just insane. It feels like yesterday I was about to suit up tomorrow.
And who was committed to TCU first? You or Austin Henry?
I think Austin was, honestly. I think it was close to about the same time, but I want to say Austin was.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Y'all played 3 years of JUCO together, or a couple of years of JUCO together, right, before coming to TCU?
Yeah, 3 years of JUCO together, and then 3 more at TCU. So a long time.
And you guys played for you guys played for a JUCO World Series, ain't that right?
Yeah, man, we were very fortunate to be on a couple of really, really good teams. Our first year that we played in 2016, 2017, we were actually ruled ineligible for the postseason, but I think we were only allowed to play our 56 games, and we ended up going like 44-12. So we were really good then, and then we had everybody returning. Yeah, and then brought in a bunch of D1, ex-D1 guys, and we just had this unbelievable year. Lost in the national championship to Chipola, JD school. Always heard about that in the national championship, but we finished that season at 16-8. So that was a really special year. But you go back and look at some of the guys that were on that team, and there's 3 or 4 of them that just got invites to Major League Spring Training. So we were stacked for sure.
Now, how much do you keep up with college baseball these days?
I do my best, man. I know it's just like the game has changed so much. The game's never been better with the draft being shorter and the transfer rules and all that, how that works now. So I do my best.
Because I was going to say, JUCO used to be the big primary route to Division I from guys, but now if you don't work out a Power 5 program, let's say, you just transfer to a G5 school or whatever,
right.
And where it used to be JUCO was the main contributor, and so now JUCO gets pushed even further down. You just don't see the JUCO route a lot.
No, and it's sad because I'm a big pusher of junior college ball. I mean, I redshirted out of junior college. That's how bad I was out of high school. So at least the program I was at, it was first class, like developed really well. And without them, I definitely would have never, ever ended up at TCU.
Let's talk about that a little bit. How do you go, what do you credit the success of jumping from a guy that redshirts at JUCO to jumping back into, a Power 5 school?
I mean, that's why I'm so big on junior college baseball, is because the talent's there. Like there's no doubt about that. And especially once you get into Grand Junction, which is where like the World Series are, you're seeing guys who have been in the big leagues or in the big leagues now. So Chipola, like I think either my first year or second year, they led the country in draft picks, or were tied in the country with most draft picks out of any school, regardless of division. So the baseball's good. And the good thing about junior college is that there's really no time limits, time restrictions on how much you can practice and all that. So if I wanted to hit 8 hours a day on the field, my coaches would do that. So the big shout out to them. But no, the development's just like it's on your own in junior college. So I really took that upon myself because, I mean, my dream was always like I said, watching South Carolina in the World Series and watching College World Series, like that was always the dream. So me being at a junior college and seeing some of my teammates sign to these Power 5 schools, it was attainable for me. So being able to know that was a possibility and then have it kind of in my own hands made it a no-brainer and made it pretty easy for me.
Yeah, it's kind of strange because when you were at TCU, you played with so many JUCO guys. TCU has such a strong history with JUCO guys like Matt Curry and Brian Holiday, and then the guys you played with like Connor Shepard, Jake Gunther, Johnny Reiser. Like the whole team was pretty much a JUCO transfer, and then you had like 1 or 2 guys like AJ Balta or Gene Woods, transferred from another D1 school. And then now it's like it's flipped. Like you have a bunch of guys from the transfer portal, and then you maybe get 1 or 2 like JUCO stars that didn't get drafted, right?
Right. And I mean, for me, that's sad because I know there's great junior college baseball, and a lot of those guys are kind of being picked over. I mean, that's what made junior college baseball so great, is that you have this opportunity to go, and then kind of the world is your oyster when it comes to all these schools. It was unlimited. So it is sad, but yeah, like my first year, I think we had 8 or 9 junior college guys, and it made it for a very interesting transition, especially for that first year, because you come from a place in junior college where it's basically you're on your own. There's 40 different personalities on a team, and then you come into a place like TCU where there's a set culture and you're expected to act a certain way. So at times we struggle with that, yeah, and I think that may have led to a couple of mishaps that we had throughout the season because we were so talented. Like you look at the weekend rotation, especially my first year, you have two guys who are literally in a big league rotation right now. So,
Yeah.
What was that like playing with Lodolo and Williamson?
I mean, they're studs. I mean, they are who they are for a reason. So it made it easy. I mean, you had to score 2 or 3 to win on a Friday night and a Saturday night.
Everyone knows about Lodolo, but I think Williamson really surprised me. He was a transfer in for that 2019 season, and all he did was just ball out.
Yeah, I mean, Williamson, he didn't have a fall, his first fall. So I think nobody really knew anything of him or really had any expectations from him. But Brandon is basically, if you were to want to build a pitcher, Brandon Williamson's the prototype you'd want to model after. So, I mean, him and Lodolo are going to absolutely set the world on fire for the Reds, and couldn't be happier for him.
Whenever you come to TCU, you're recruited as a shortstop.
Yeah.
What was that transition like moving to the outfield?
Easier for sure. So, I mean, I played short basically my whole life going into TCU. I actually had a pretty decent fall defensively my first year, and then started out at short for the first few games, got hurt, came back, struggled, and then they moved me to the outfield. But boys, watching Tommy and Silva play, it's just like, I understand. I get it.
Are you not on that level?
No, not at all. So it's like I see. That's what it's supposed to look like.
It's kind of funny. I remember you hurt your shoulder,
Mm-hmm.
and then you come back. You're playing center field, and then you're just out there, first couple of innings diving for balls, and then no reckless abandon. Whenever you had no fear when you played.
No, I also really didn't because I was really new to the outfield, so I also didn't have much feel when it came to stuff like that. So, see ball, go get the ball.
Yeah, not no wall presence
No, absolutely not. No, I think there's video. I think when we were in Globe Life, my last year, when we were playing, I think Mississippi State or something like that. Some dude absolutely smokes a home run literally over the fence about 40 feet, and you see me just jumping at the fence for it, just like a complete loser. But
that Mississippi State game's when Braden Taylor first started his very first game as a freshman. Did you know then what he would turn into be?
Yeah, for sure. In the fall, you saw it. Him and Elijah. It was so frustrating because here I am, 22, 23 years old, and these 17-year-old kids are going up and getting a hit every other time in a fall game. So you saw it, and you saw the natural ability that Braden and Elijah have. But yeah, Braden, yeah, I mean, he most composed baseball player ever been around. You can't phase him. He is who he is for a reason.
I want to talk about the 2020 season and just how weird that must have been for y'all. I mean, because y'all come out of the gates just smoking hot, and then by the middle of March, the season's over. Just what a weird time.
Yeah, it sucked because in 2021 we were really good, but there was just a feeling in 2020, even though we were, I think, 15, 16 games in, that we were going to be special. And I mean, I can't really put a finger on it. It was just the vibe around the club. We were going to do really big things. I know it's easy to say since the season got canceled, but we were I think, a better ball club that year than we were even the year after, and we were a national seed that year as well.
Yeah, I mean,
What was it
that
like? Because
mentally?
yeah, because
Uh,
like you said, you only played like 15 games, and then
mhm.
I don't know, maybe 5, 6 games at home, and then you're on the West Coast. You're at the Dodgers Classic. You know, you're about to play. Who was it? San Diego State or something on Tuesday.
Yeah, we were about to play San Diego State, and it's actually like we talk, like the guys and I talk about it all the time, like thinking about, like talking back about that year, and it was like we were playing San Diego State on a Tuesday or Wednesday, and it got rained out, so we were like, "This is sick. We get a free day in San Diego to do whatever we want." And it turns out that would have been our last game. So
It was literally sick.
Yeah,
yeah, literally, yeah. But I just remember we came back. I think we were supposed to play. I think it was Maryland
Yeah.
that next weekend, and I just remember them pulling us off the field and saying that they've. I think it. I don't know if they canceled all the sports at once, but I know they canceled women's basketball, and at that time, the women's basketball team was on a run that they hadn't had in years. So I remember we left practice and met them, and right outside the Schulmeyer, and kind of just consoled them and just let them know we were there for them. But yeah, it was an awful day.
What was that like? What was the couple of weeks, months like for you after that?
Initially I was okay with it, because I was just like under the impression that, like, okay, like I'll get another year at TCU, like that's sick. And then there's rumblings of, they may not give the extra year of eligibility. So that was like, well, like, what am I going to do with my life? Like all that. But thankfully, like we would have meetings like all the time with the team, and Slosh would, kind of fill us in on what he found out during the week. But no, it was very nerve wracking for the first month or so of them debating on whether or not to give us that extra year.
And like I was in school at that time, and Zoom classes was a blessing and a curse, right? Because I mean, it's awesome. You don't have to go into class. You can just, fire up your laptop and go, but then you're not getting that actual on-campus experience either.
Yeah, no, I mean, I love going to class at TCU. I love being around the student body and all that, but I mean, I can't lie to you, the online classes are pretty nice. Especially that was my last semester, so it was smooth sailing out of there.
Yeah, did you get a certificate or whatever that COVID year?
I don't think so. No.
What did you do for classes then in 21?
Oh, in 21, I started on my master's. So I did 2 classes each semester, and then the year after I finished, I had another year of school. So I got my master's in liberal arts. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. Got you.
Yeah.
I was, so you go into the 2021 season, you'll start off at Globe Life. What was that? You had a pretty, it was an interesting start to the year for y'all. Beat Mississippi State, lose 2 close ones to Ole Miss. But what were you feeling going into that season?
I mean, I remember us we were confident because we pretty much had everybody back from the year prior. And like I just alluded to how good I thought we were that year. So we were confident, but I remember that weekend, it definitely didn't go the way that we wanted. We struggled. I struggled. I was horrible, but I remember being very nervous because it's like you go in, you haven't played in over a year, and then you're thrown into SEC schools coming into town and bringing all those people with them. So no, it was a very, very fun experience.
Then as y'all progress through the end of the year, what was that? I mean, obviously it's kind of a bad memory or whatever, but just what was that, the vibe like, during that Kansas State series at the end of the year?
Dude, it was like I can't even describe, especially that last game, what that last game was like. It was gut wrenching, but baseball is baseball. Things happen that you would never expect to happen, and that was heartbreaking. But like, it never felt something weird happened up at Kansas State. Both years that we went up there, things went sideways. So that was unfortunate, but that was why we were so good. We were an older team, so we were able to bounce back and have the run in Oklahoma City that we had.
Yeah, y'all go ahead. Y'all win the Big 12, right? And then you get a regional, and that doesn't go so well. I mean, that's got to be kind of a weird month from that Kansas State series till the end of the season or whatever, and then Schloss leaves. I mean, obviously your career's over, but it's like immediately everyone started banging the drum for Kirk Saarloos. Could you say what that was like from a player's perspective of just really beating the drum to get Kirk hired as head coach?
Yeah, I mean, from being in the program, like I obviously have a first class view of how everything's ran. And yeah, did it suck that we blew it at the end of the year and losing a regional at home? Yeah, it sucks. But did we need to make wholesale changes? I mean, we were a national seed, so I don't think that cleaning house was the right answer. So it was a no-brainer. If not Kirk, then Mosiello, Coach Mo was just as qualified. So either way, as long as one of those two got it, then I was happy with it, because for me, like, I want something to go back to. And the way that Slosh ran it and now Kirk, like everybody's welcoming. So I didn't want somebody new come in and then like, I don't know you, like I played here, but I don't know who you are. So very thankful that Kirk's leading the ship and doing wonderful things.
If I remember correctly, there was like a big Zoom meeting with a bunch of former players and Jeremiah. You just talk about what that was like?
Yeah, we actually met him in his office, and we just kind of, sat there with him and just kind of basically told him how it was. Because, I mean, he is the athletic director, but he not necessarily know what's happening inside the program's walls. So I think the six of us just wanted to go in there and just kind of lay it out for him on how it actually was and how we felt and how we wanted to leave the program as we kind of exited the door. And we thought that either Kirk or Mo would be perfect for it, and just continuing to lead the charge on with TCU baseball. And I mean, obviously you see what's happened his first 2 years, making a regional and then making that run last year. So it's only gained steam. So right choice was definitely made.
Are you local, Hunter?
Yeah, I'm back in. I lived in Dallas for the last 2 years, but I'm back in Fort Worth now.
Back in Fort Worth.
Yeah, right at Clear Fork. So
you go to a lot of TCU games, right?
I was so bad at it. And then last year, when we moved back, I tried to come out at least once every home weekend or once a weekend. So I need to do better with that, especially since I'm so close.
It's kind of hard. It's a grind. 4 games in 7 days. People don't think of how much that actually is. That's
I mean, yeah, grind. You boys can talk on that way better than me. So,
man, it's fun. It's not a grind. I don't know what he's talking about. I enjoy going to the ballpark. But I mean, I saw you a lot out there last year, and I think the only guy I saw more was Gray Rogers. He's out there a lot.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, you can't mess Gray anywhere. So,
and your boy Austin Henry's out there a lot too.
Oh yeah, no, I mean that doesn't surprise me at all. So, they're both hilarious guys. So, both amazing humans. So.
Speaking of getting back out to Lupton, what are your thoughts on Kirk's team this year? Do you think they're going to be able to find the success they did last season?
I'm actually not really too familiar with the team. I think the only two guys that I played with that are still there position-wise are Kurt Curtis and Luke. So, but I know on paper, like they should be right there. From everything I've been told, everybody's super excited. I know Chatney a little bit. I know he's a good player, so I think he's going to fit right in. Curtis is going to lead the guys. Luke's going to lead the guys, and you had the studs that were freshmen last year, and hopefully they'll continue to build on that freshman success. And I mean, what better experience than being literally thrown straight into the fire playing in the World Series? So hopefully they take that experience and build on that and get them right back there.
Did you ever have to face Ben Hampton?
I don't think so. No.
I think he may have been around a freshman. I think freshman, somewhere around then, whenever you were wrapping up your college career. So what I hear is you don't go out to practice like Gray does and shag balls in the outfield.
No. Gray, I mean, hardest working guy out there, Gray Rogers. So I think actually my last year it was Gray and I that would end up doing our early work together. So yeah, hardworking individuals.
Just carry that lunch pail every day you go in, right?
Absolutely.
Was it hard, like your last year? I think because of injuries, you ended the season as a DH. I mean, your bat always played. You always were a plus bat in the lineup. Obviously, you started out as shortstop. You moved to center field. Obviously, you could play those premium positions, but I guess did the injuries catch up or what happened?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the exact games, but I mean, the majority of my 3 years, I spent it at DH. I know 2020 I was DH the whole time because of my shoulder, and then my first year I think I missed like 20 games, and then was majority of DH, and then pretty much DH my whole last year. So I mean, looking back, it is hard because I did have really high expectations for myself. I was drafted twice out of junior college, so just naturally, like you feel like if I can get drafted twice out of junior college, I mean, sure as shit, like I can. If I play decent at TCU, like I can do that. But being a DH and really only showing that I can hit and not really provide anything much defensively, I mean, who's going to want that? But
yeah, that had to be hard too with them after COVID shortening the draft, right? You know, the draft used to be like 38 rounds or whatever.
Yeah.
And now it's like I think even it was 10 that COVID year, and then 20 it's been ever since.
Yeah. And I talked to several teams both those last years, and they were pretty much every one of them was like, you know what, like obviously you can hit, but you're older and we don't know if you can play defense. So I was like, it's fair enough, like it is what it is, but I wouldn't have traded any of the experiences I had over those 3 years.
Going back to your playing career, do you have like a favorite moment that stands out for you?
Yeah, definitely. It was the regional against Cal in Fayetteville. I think my first year, I think I had like 3 extra base hits or something like that. And that was my first regional game. And I think just looking back, it's like kind of what I alluded to earlier. It's like you watch the World Series, you watch the regionals on TV growing up, and you're like, that's what I want to do that one day. And then when the moment actually gets there and you perform well, it's just kind of like, it makes it all worth it.
Okay, Hunter, that home run you hit against DBU in 2021, and then the bullpen started doing that crazy dance in the outfield.
Yeah.
Did you guys coordinate that? Did y'all plan that, or was that spur of the moment?
I think they did it a few games prior, but I still have people to this day like show me that video and have not a clue in the world that I actually hit the ball. It's more of just showing the bullpen dancing. Yeah. But no, they I think they had it down because I think they did it several games earlier.
Yeah, they had it down.
Kind of just became a thing. Yeah, so
it's that Perk influence.
Yeah,
out there in the
sure.
bullpen.
For sure.
Do you still are you still close? I mean, do you talk to Perk at all? these days?
When I see him around, I talk to him, but not too much, to be honest with you. But he was phenomenal. He was phenomenal. He was great with our pitchers. I mean, obviously, you know what he did for TCU, so he's a great guy.
I think he's an okay guy.
He's a great guy.
The jury's still out on the great part, but we'll go okay.
Gotcha.
Hey Hunter, are you looking to get into coaching?
I'd love to. I mean, I'd love to. It's just, I mean, it's hard. I mean, I don't necessarily know if I could do the whole start of the junior college grind, mow the grass, and do all that. Like I know you have to. So, I give lessons now, so that kind of keeps me connected to the game. I mean, I wish more than anything that I was playing. I wish I could revive my career like old Chuck King. It'd be nice to have 97 in the tank, take a year off, and then throw 97 with moving balls like it shouldn't. But yeah, it's giving lessons. It keeps me connected, and I mean, I do what I can. So I love baseball. It's really all I know, even though I have a real big boy job. But I stay connected as much as I can.
You ever think about going down to Cleburne?
I did that for a year. I did
Yeah.
that for a year, and I loved it. I enjoyed it. But dude, the
Travel's not fun.
Yeah, aren't
Pay's
some
not
of those
great.
teams like in Canada?
Yeah, so the division, just my division was Cleburne, 2 teams from Chicago, another team from Illinois, a team in Milwaukee, and another team in Wisconsin. So it was like you play 6 at home, you get on a bus, and you drive 12, 15
bus
hours.
you.
Oh,
man.
yeah. You get on a bus, drive 12, 15 hours. Monday's your off day. So your off day spent on a bus. And then you'll get into the next city at like 6, 7 at night. Basically, you're tired, you sleep, you wake up, and then it's 6 straight. It's just like a never-ending cycle. So it got to be a lot, but I loved it.
Was Grand Prairie still in that league? The Airhawks?
No, the closest team to Cleburne was, I think, Lincoln, Nebraska. So
what about that St. Paul? What was the team in Minnesota?
Yeah, they used to be in that league. Yeah, they used to be in that league, and then I think they're like the AAA team for the Twins now.
Right, man. But yeah, all that's really far,
Dude.
Yeah.
And the bus there, it's like you're living minor league life without being in the minor leagues.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was brutal. And then we played Winnipeg. We played Winnipeg too, and that's like a 24-hour bus ride. So
Couldn't even take the train. I know, like Amtrak goes everywhere.
no, and then it got to the point where I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm just gonna buy a flight to Chicago or wherever we're playing. I'll meet you guys there. I'll just take the hit. But it was fun.
Who were the coaches there at the time? Because I know Rudy Jaramillo is a coach there now.
So Logan Watkins was my manager. He played with the Cubs for a little bit, and then Jose Amado was my hitting coach. He was with the Diamondbacks. He was in the Diamondbacks system for a little bit and coached with them for quite a bit, but they were awesome.
Yeah. Are you still pretty close with the guys from those teams that you were on, those TCU teams?
Oh yeah. I try to. I mean, there's a few guys that I wish that I stayed in touch with more, but I still talk with 6 to 8 of them pretty regularly. I had lunch with Austin Henry and Connor Shepard this past weekend, and then hung out with Gray, Bobby, and Cruz for the Super Bowl. So yeah, I try to do the best I can. So
you all have a big group chat.
Yeah, we still have group chat. So absolutely.
Would you be arrested if those chats got leaked?
Yeah, it'd be good. It'd be good. There would be several people that would have arrested.
Because I know if the LDC chat ever got leaks, it's
we would be praised.
I remember I a few months ago went on or group me my last year and just kind of read through some of the chat, and dude, wild stuff, but hilarious.
Do you have any stories that you can tell of, like, just like off the field, like hotel, like road trip shenanigans that would happen while you played?
Stuff that I can tell, not a lot. I will tell this one story though. We were in Lubbock, my last year, and Gray. I think Gray had this like really good game against Tech, and then I think
That had to be the Friday night. I think
yes, it was either Friday or Saturday night. I don't remember, but I remember he had a good game, and then I think he got like thrown out, stealing a base in like some random inning, and we go after the game, and we're all hanging out, and Slosh calls Gray. And he's like, "Hey, come up to my room." And Gray's like, "Okay," like he's about to get some praise. Like, I had a good game. Like, it's going to be awesome. And he comes back like 10 minutes later and he's like, "Well, boys, I think I just got cut." So it was just stuff like that. But
what was
what'd you say you cut out?
Oh, sorry. What was it like playing for Schloss?
It was awesome, man. I mean, I know that obviously people have different opinions on him, but was it hard at times? Yeah, absolutely. But he's a great leader of men. TCU wouldn't be TCU without Jim Schlossnagle. He put in a culture that keeps guys accountable, makes guys do things the right way. But with that, there's a lot of winning that's been involved. So did I like how it ended and how things kind of went out like that? No, it sucked. But at the end of the day, like, I love Slosh. I'm eternally grateful for Slosh because without him, I wouldn't have went to TCU, which were the 3 greatest years of my life, and I wouldn't have made all these friends and memories that are going to last me the rest of my life. So I'm eternally grateful for him. Do I wish he was at a place other than A&M? Yeah, absolutely. But I'm always going to be thankful for him.
Can we talk about that? And I don't know if because it kind of felt like, and this is from me as a fan's perspective, there towards the end of the Schloss era, that it felt like it run its course to an extent, and that he was kind of ready to leave.
I never picked up on that as a player, but when you kind of step back from all of it and you think about it, it's just like he thought that was the best path for him to succeed in his career. So like, if he thinks that that's a promotion, then you can't fault him for that. Did he go about it the wrong way with how he kind of went out? Yeah, absolutely. But I think he definitely, I think, would acknowledge that. But he's a great leader of men. I'm always going to be thankful for him. And I mean, I can't say too many bad things about the man.
Who would you rather get yelled at by, Schloss or Coach Mo?
I'd rather get yelled at Slosh because it happened a lot. Because when Coach Mo yells at you, it hurts a little more because he's such a good man. It's just like, damn, like
let him down.
Yeah, let him down.
Because I know Coach Mo could get kind of animated sometimes during games.
Yeah, Coach Mo. I mean, he's amazing, but it'd be so funny because it would just come out of nowhere. He'd be your best friend, and then literally 10 seconds later, like without you even like realizing you did anything, he'd be on you. So, but he's awesome, man. He's the best.
Do you still keep in contact with him? I know he's doing his thing up there at Ohio State.
Yeah, I do my best. I try to shoot him a text every month or so, every couple months, and just check in because I mean I love the man, and there's nobody I want to win more than Coach Mosiello because he's worked so long for that opportunity. So.
Garrett, Martin, y'all have anything?
I'm good, man. I'm just excited for tomorrow. Ready to play baseball again. Starting to itch.
Yeah, it's crazy. It got here super quick. I mean, I felt
really
like
did.
I feel like we were
Every
in
time-
Omaha not too long ago. Now here we go.
You know, I was just saying that tonight out at the coaches show, and I was like, man, it feels like it wasn't that long ago that we
Yeah.
were sending them off to Omaha.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
guess
and
it
that's
was,
something I can ask you. What's it like being a fan now of TCU baseball?
it's way more nerve wracking being a fan because you can't do anything about it. Like I was like literally complete nervous wreck during that, like the regional and the super regional and then World Series. Just like it was awesome being there, but it was like it's also enjoyable because you're so nervous. You want them to do well. So it's definitely way more nerve wracking. That's what's crazy is that when you're a player and you're in the game, you don't think about any of it. It's just you're playing the game. But when you're outside, you think about the magnitude. You think about how big the stage is. You think about how many people's watching this game. It's just like it is weird, but yeah, definitely not playing.
Yeah, it's like you live and die on every pitch.
Yeah,
As a
no, for
fan,
sure.
whereas like a player, it's just it's water on a duck's back, right? On to the
Mhm.
next.
Yeah, absolutely. But Omaha was sick. It's so cool. Um, Outside of dealing with LSU fans everywhere, it was a good time.
Did you go up there this past year?
Yeah, I did. I watched the first two games. Yeah, first two games, and then had to come back. But it was awesome.
What was that experience like?
It was cool. There was 5 or 6 of us that uh, flew up there and rented a cheap hotel and just roughed it and watched the Frogs play. Just hung around Omaha. Omaha's a great city, perfect location for it. But it was cool. I mean, it would have been awesome if I would have got to play in it, but being able to go support the guys, especially some of the guys that I played with, it was special for me.
Does not getting to, like make you appreciate even more just how hard it is to actually get to Omaha?
Yeah, it's incredibly hard because I mean, my last year, I thought we were on top of the world a week prior, and then you play 3 games and you're done, and it's just like it's so hard. It is so hard. So yeah, you have to appreciate any team that can run the gauntlet and make it there.
Because I know me as a TCU fan, especially there in the teens, didn't really appreciate just how hard it is to get to Omaha. I was like, oh, this is easy. We just go every year. What's so hard
Yeah.
about
We got
this?
spoiled there
Yeah.
for a while, absolutely, as fans.
Yeah. But I think that's what made last year so special, is because as many trials and tribulations they went through early on in the year, they were able to somehow right the ship and just be hot. And that's just the name of the game. If you can be hot at the right time, and they were. So it was a special run for them.
Did you go up to Fayetteville?
No, I didn't get to make it Faribault, but I enjoyed watching every second of that on my TV. So
Oh my
I'm sure that
goodness.
being there was electric.
Highlight of my life, dude, to hear 10,000 silent Hog fans, and then you just have one little section behind the dugout just losing their mind. Oh, it was
Yeah, no, I'm
incredible.
sure. I mean, I was there when they were on our ass my first year. So I know the opposite effect when things are rolling. So
That's right. Y'all did play there in 19
mhm.
in their regional.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Freaking
no, that
Isaiah
play,
Campbell.
yeah, he was. I remember the scouting report. It was like he was going to be like 90, 91, 93, and we get into the game and he's sitting like 95, 97 for 8 innings or wherever he went. So yeah, he's a stud. But
Was that when Klops was on the team?
yeah, I think so.
That dude was insane too.
Yeah, no, I mean they were really good that year. I was actually shocked they didn't win it in the end because they were stacked.
Is that now my Arkansas years are mixing together? Is that the year they lost to Oregon State, or was that 17?
I think that was 17. I actually think I think that year they actually were really disappointing in Omaha. I think they may have went 2-and-out or 3-and-out, one of the two.
Yeah, par for the course for the Razorbacks.
But a very cool place to play. That's for sure.
Yeah, and to be honest, their fans are incredible. Like
Oh
they
yeah.
were, they're actually really nice and very hospitable.
Hmm.
And which I guess you can't be any way but whenever you're getting handed, beat 20-5
Right.
or whatever,
Yeah. I mean,
getting
yeah,
your
at least
teeth kicked in.
if you can take that with grace, then good on them. Good on them.
Which they did
So,
because a drunk me wasn't so graceful there in the first couple rows.
yeah, after Richardson hit his third home run, I'm sure
Oh
you
my
were
goodness.
I'm sure you were letting them know about it.
Dude, it was after the first home run. Like, dude, I couldn't believe that moment, for Trey. Because you think about that game that Trey had. He goes in there, he's hit 3 home runs on the year heading into that game.
Yeah.
And then he hits 3 in one game. Oh, it's just insane. Baseball's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'd love to know what that would feel like, just doing that to them at their place. I'm sure that was just like you can't
Just
even like I'm sure put it into words
hit him with
how
the
that feels.
Jordan
Yeah.
shrug.
Yeah. But no, it was an amazing run. So, but excited, new chapter this year. So hopefully the boys will get back. Hopefully more runs will be scored at home. Batter's eyes finally put in place. So
Have you seen the batter's eye? Have you gone out there and have you seen it in
I
person?
haven't been on the field, but I drive past it and I see it. So I asked for that for years, but I got beat to it every time. So
Do you
I'm
think you
glad they
could
got
have
it.
hit 350 plus if you had that batter's
I
eye?
wouldn't say 350, but I do firmly believe I would have hit a few points higher, especially during the day.
Was
But
it?
I'm just complaining.
I mean, that makes me think. Can you talk about that a little bit more? About was it hard actually sometimes picking up a baseball with just those shrubs there in
I
the
mean,
outfield?
for me it was, but I wasn't as good as a hitter as some of the other guys who obviously weren't phased by it. But yeah, especially when you play like on Sundays and there's like gaps in the shrubs, especially if you had like the right arm slot, it kind of got lost in it. But
You're very humble. I mean, you were a 300 plus hitter your entire career at TCU. I'd say that's pretty dang good.
so I appreciate that, but definitely could have been better. But I'm glad they got that batter's eye. It looks awesome. So I haven't seen like the wall. The wall looks cool. I've seen pictures of it. So I'm gonna try to get out there. I think on Sunday and watch them. So
Sit in the cold.
yeah, tomorrow. How's the weather this weekend? Is it supposed to be nice for the boys?
It's gonna be cold for the boys.
Yeah,
It's crazy. Like we
I
get
have,
70 degrees today, and then by like first pitch tomorrow, it's supposed to be in the 50s with the howling north wind, and then won't get out of the 40s the rest of the weekend.
yeah, I had lunch with Delora last weekend. I was like, why don't you guys just go down there? Like, but or next weekend too. Like, go out to California. But I mean,
They're in Fort Myers, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Is Fort Myers really that great? I don't know, seems
I
kind of trashy to me.
can't be that bad. Can't be that
Now,
bad.
It's a lot of old people. It's like where all the retired people go.
yeah, I don't know. Give me Fort Worth, and it's crazy weather. I mean, y'all played in some crazy weather too. What opening day 2020 was actually the last time they opened up at home. And y'all were playing oh no, y'all are at Globe Life. Oh no, that's 2021. Sorry, I had the wrong schedule pulled up.
Yeah, I think we played Kentucky. Opened up with Kentucky or Cal,
Yeah,
one of the two.
okay. No, that was that weather the weather was actually nice there because I remember Kentucky. They were actually really cool. That team was pretty cool. TJ Collette, good dude. I think
He's actually so I know him a little bit. He's actually like a really he's a good dude. He's a really good dude. Could smoke a baseball, but he's a great guy.
because that's whenever we would sit by the visitors dugout, before the LDC was a thing, and chirp hitters or whatever. And we actually became where by the end of the weekend we're talking with them, and those Kentucky the Moonshine Boys were telling us, "Oh yeah, we went out to 7th last night, dude. That was
There you go.
awesome."
There you go. Good. That's a good little home field advantage. Have
Yeah,
the
maybe
boys
that's
go
why
out
y'all
on
swept
Saturday
them
night.
that weekend.
Have the boys go out on Saturday night and play on Sunday.
Yeah. No curfew. Or what
No.
curfew?
Right.
Right, Hunter. Well, thanks for joining us. Is there anything you'd like to plug? Your social medias or whatever?
Yeah, man. Feel free to tag me or whatever. I really enjoyed talking with you guys. Really enjoyed it. So looking forward to this season. I know there's a lot of excitement around the program. So I'm sure I'll be seeing you guys out there, and I'll come buy you guys a couple rounds of beer.
Yeah, you'll have to come down to 107
yeah.
and crush
Yeah.
some beers with us.
For sure. When are you guys doing the 9x9x9?
Everyone keeps asking for that.
Is there like an ideal? You look for like a certain weekend where like the weather is not going to be too hot, too cold.
You do need good weather conditions. Hopefully, you need also a team that you think you can score a lot of runs on, because that just extends the length of game.
Yeah.
Because now with like the pitch clock and all that, they're trying to shorten baseball games, and to successfully do a 9x9, you need a longer baseball game.
Yeah. A 1-0 game, you guys be hurting.
Oh my goodness, it's impossible at that point. We'll have to if we do it this year, you'll have to come out and do it with us.
I'll participate, and I'll do my best. No promises, but I'll do my best. So.
All right, Hunter. Well, thanks for jumping on.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys for having me. Really enjoyed it. Anytime you want me to come on, I'll come talk ball with you.
Awesome.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So appreciate you guys.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Go Frogs.
Go Frogs.
Yes, sir. Go Frogs.
Man, Hunter, really appreciate it. That was awesome.
Oh, man.